Hi, I'm Steve from the Rooted Podcast, and I hope you can join me every weekday for a 5-minute or less devotional word study or insight into Scripture to add to your day. Welcome to Fruit Snacks. Hey everyone, does the Bible actually tell us Satan's first and last name? That's our question for today. Many popular television shows and a lot of Christians that I know have referred to Satan as Lucifer, some even as Lucifer Morningstar, as if that's his first and last name, it's his proper name. Well, is that actually the case? And is there any biblical precedent for that? To understand the backstory for this, we need to look at a verse in Isaiah chapter 14, specifically verse 12. And it'll be really helpful if you look at it in the King James Version specifically, and we'll talk about why that is. But for now, in the King James, Isaiah 14:12 reads, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?" It's been a while since I've read King James, so thanks for bearing with me. Now, you may notice that right there, Lucifer is probably capitalized, and it's treated like a proper name in this verse. So what's actually happening here? Well, this has to do with how language gets translated and then retranslated as it is put into other languages. So, originally, this is written in Hebrew, and the phrase in question in chapter 14, verse 12, is Hillel ben Shakar, which is what we most often see translated, especially here in the King James, Lucifer, son of the morning. Other translations may have something like day star or light bringer, morning star, son of the morning, all these different things. And that's literally what it means. And to understand what's going on here, we need to think in terms of ancient astronomy. In the ancient world, the morning star, even though they didn't know that it wasn't a star, was actually the planet Venus. And the reason it was called the morning star, and it sort of held a special interest in the ancient mind, is because if you know anything about Venus, it's very, very bright in the sky under the right conditions. It's one of the first heavenly bodies to appear in the night sky after the sun sets, but then it also is one of the last heavenly bodies to fade from view after the sun comes to full strength in the morning when it's in a different orbit. And because of this, the ancients would look at that and they interpreted it almost as an act of rebellion. Again, the ancients thought of heavenly bodies in terms of divine beings because they moved, they seemed to have their own paths and orbits and all these other interactions. And so there was agency assigned to them by a lot of the ancients. In so doing, Isaiah is borrowing that idea of divine rebellion and applying it to Satan. And the Hebrew word for light bringer, when it was translated into Latin, was translated Lucifer. That's literally the Latin translation for light bringer. And so Lucifer is not the proper name of the devil, nor is Lucifer Morningstar. It's a reference, though, to his behavior, his attitude toward God, that's being appropriated from a common cosmological word picture, and Isaiah is applying it to Satan. Even the name Satan isn't actually a proper name. It just means adversary. And so the Bible never tells us the actual name of the divine rebel. All we know about him are his intentions, how we are to resist him, and his ultimate fate, when God will remove his influence from the world and he will get the punishment that he has earned.